Okay? If you can't find someone, you do it. Now, what else can you do? Well, we are about to start an organization or an effort within Oath Keepers called Family Safe. And what Family Safe is going to be, it's going to be a support network for current serving police, military, and firefighters and other emergency personnel. And what it will be is it'll be Oath Keeper families who volunteer to serve as host families. In case there's another big, like Katrina or some other big ice storm hits the Northeast or any kind of disaster like that, and you've got your emergency responders out in the field, we want to give a safe place for their families to go. If they want to, they can enroll in this program confidentially. They don't have to be an Oath Keeper member at all. They'd have to be a current serving police officer, firefighter, or military. Active duty, reserves, or National Guard doesn't make a difference to us. What counts is that they can come to us confidentially and say, I want to be part of this program. We can go and find a family that's volunteered to be a host family. They can go meet them, interview them, make sure they're comfortable with them, and that's their family that's designated for them. So that, hey, if a police officer has to go out and he has to serve for 2 weeks straight in a Katrina-like situation, he can put his family in a safe place to know that they're safe. We cannot ask them to keep their oath and then sit on our couch and let them do it on their own. We need to have we need to show that we're willing to support them physically in keeping their oath. And this goes for if their house burns down, or hey, if he stands up and says no to some orders and he's fired or suspended and he's worried about his family, that's what's on their mind first and foremost, is their family's safe. So we want to step up. The national coordinator for that will be Chauncey Normandin. He's our Army veteran and also police captain of 27 years. He'll be the national coordinator. We'll have each state chapter president pick a coordinator in that state, and eventually on down to the county level to coordinate this system of volunteers who will host a current serving police officer, military, or firefighter's family. We'll try to pair up current serving police with retired police, current serving military with retired military, etc. That's what we'll try to do because they have more in common. Now, we'll also have a network across state lines for Oath Keeper members. If you're a member of Oath Keepers, as far as I'm concerned, then that earns you the right to also use this system if your family needs to evacuate an area or needs support. Okay? So we'll have a list of roster list of just general volunteers. Like right now, Celia Hyde, who is our state chapter president for Connecticut, she's on the Red Cross call-up list. Whenever they need some place to stay for a family that lost their house in a fire or whatever, they'll call her up once in a while and say, can you do it? And she'll say, sure, bring them on in. If she can't, she says, no, I can't do it. They go on to the next person on the list. So just like that, we'll have a general list for all of our members of those who are willing to be a host family on the fly for anybody else who needs help. And you might remember back during our conference, Rand Cardwell, who's our guy in Tennessee, his wife was stuck on the side of the road in North Carolina. He jumped on the phone, called some Oath Keepers in North Carolina. Within like 25 minutes, she had assistance on the side of the road. It's pretty amazing. And I also want to give credit, so that's part of the reason why I'm doing this, but I also want to give credit to Glenn Main up in upstate New York. He also had the idea of having a safe place for police officers' families during times of crisis. That's really his idea. I give him full credit for it. We're going to take it nationwide. So you understand that? And we also want anybody who is a ham radio operator or who knows electronics like that, communication like that, to let us know, because we want to build a ham radio network across the country as well. Because you have to have communications. If you got some police officer's wife and children that have been evacuated to another state, how's he going to communicate with them? What if the phone lines are down? So we'll have ham radio operators and CV operators also, Citizens Band, which is next level down, that they could contact their family through. And same goes for Oath Keeper people trying to contact their families who have been secured someplace else during a disaster. Okay, you understand that? So it'll be a nationwide network of support. It will eventually expand to include community support. We'd like to see every Oath Keeper chapter down to the county level have the capacity, have the stored supplies to be able to help their neighborhoods and their community in general after they've helped the police and military and firefighters, and after they've taken care of other Oath Keepers. They should have the capacity to then take care of their community, whether it's a food bank, whatever it would be, extra supplies, warm blankets, whatever. Okay? I know other institutions do the same thing, like the Red Cross, etc. and you're more than welcome to go join those institutions or do CERT or whatever else in your community you can do. You can do it all at once. It's not exclusive. And the same goes on the political side. Nothing stops you from belonging to any other organization. Kind of the neat thing about Oath Keepers is it's not trying to replace other organizations or other efforts. It's very complementary. You can be a 912er and a Constitution Party guy or a Republican and still be an Oath Keeper. Just keep your oath. And we have, I'll have them speak at dinner, but we have one candidate who's going to run as a Democrat against an incumbent Democrat to go fight in the primary. But he's going to run as a Democrat, not because he believes in everything that Nancy Pelosi believes in, the supposed head of the Democratic Party or Harry Reid, because he wants to be elected and he's a constitutionalist. He's going to run in whatever party he needs to get elected. I don't care if it's Constitution Party. I don't care if it's a Democrat, Republican. Who cares? Run how you have to so long as you're a constitutionalist. That's all that should matter. Because there's some places in this country, down south especially, where there's like, what do they call them, yellow dog Democrats or blue dog Democrats? Yeah, they vote that way because daddy voted that way and grandpa voted that way. So that's fine. Run as a Democrat, but run as a constitutionalist, okay? So that's kind of like the snapshot. I kind of had to truncate it a little bit. But on the one side, outreach to military and police, remind them of their oath. We will eventually support them with legal support. I'm putting together a pro bono team of lawyers across the country that will be able to step up and volunteer to be counsel, as was done with Michael New. When Michael New stood up and refused to wear a blue beret on his head, he had volunteer lawyers who stepped up. They didn't charge him a penny. Pro bono, free. That's what we need. We will eventually have a defense fund where we have enough money to hire lawyers if we must, but as far as I'm concerned, they should be doing it for free. We should be able to find patriotic lawyers out there, and there are some, who will do it for free. Any fast questions before we adjourn? What time is it right now? How much time we got? We're done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. You know what? I'll be at dinner. I can answer a few questions there. Let's go to dinner.
Okay, we're going to have a oath ceremony.
All right. Those of you who are members have already done this, but some of you may not have and may wish to. And that is to publicly renew your oath, which is the whole heart of oath keeping. Beginning, like I said, 1775 and then 1798, it's just publicly renewing our oath. Now, because members of Oath Keepers serve in many different capacities. Some of us are private citizens, some of us are public servants, those of us who are public servants, some of us are state legislators, sprinkling. Most of us are executive officers of one type, military or civilian at the national or at the state level. All of our oaths are slightly different, worded differently by various statutes of necessity. But what they all have in common is that which is required by Article 6 of our Constitution, and that is that they include an oath, and the whole center of them is the oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Because of the differences in our several oaths, when we do a group reaffirmation of that oath, Oath Keepers has thought maybe wise to create kind of a hybrid oath that is partially patterned on the various oaths, okay? Might sound a little bit like, the enlistment's oath, might sound a little bit like the officer's oath in the military, might sound a little bit like your Secretary of State's oath. Well, of course, the commonality is the Constitution of the United States. It is identical to none, okay? I will read to you for the benefit of those who have not yet and who think they wish to take it publicly now. I will read to you the entirety so that you can make a conscious decision. Do I really want to swear this? Because, of course, we're all about seriousness. If you don't mean it, please don't take it, and don't feel that anyone's going to be offended that you didn't. I, and you will state your name, do solemnly swear, and if you are of a religious persuasion that prevents swearing, substitute affirm, that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, pledging my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor. So help me God. So, with that, those of you who wish to publicly renew your oath to the Constitution of the United States and who may not have done